Good afternoon, everybody. This is Derek Ecklum here at Foundation Software, and I'd like to welcome everybody to today's webinar, which the topic today is Foundation Project Management, and I guess more specifically, Foundation's HQ Suite. So what we'll do is we'll go through kind of a brief presentation. It's more of an overview, kind of give you guys an idea what these products are all about, what this platform is all about. And then if you have follow-up questions, I'll have a short Q&A at the end. And if you are interested in setting up kind of a live demonstration or interested in pricing, how we price this product, by all means, feel free to reach out, and I'd be able to give you a hand with any of those types of things too. Real quick though, before I jump into the main features of our HQ suite, just want to talk about what's up on my screen right here. You can see Converge 2024. This is a user conference that we have here at Foundation. We usually do this user conference about every 18 months or so, 18 months to 2 years. It's always a good time. I've been here at the company for a long, long time. I've been a part of a lot of these over the years, but this will be the biggest one to date. It'll involve all of our companies, from Foundation to Payroll for Construction to McCormick, the Estimating Edge, our HQ Suite, and then also WorkMax. And all of that being done down in Nashville, so not a bad place to kind of get together and kick back and relax and hopefully learn a little bit more about what Foundation has to offer. So feel free to reach out to us on that, and we'd be happy to get some information over to you. This will be towards the end of April. I think it's the last week of April is when this will be during the week. I think it's Monday through Thursday. So that's our Converge 2024. So with that being said, let me kind of jump over to kind of the main topic for our webinar here today. So this is Foundation's HQ Suite, which is a web-based project management platform. And I know from talking with companies over the last, 4+ years this has been out now, that every company has some different wants and needs when it comes to project management software, but I guess they all kind of come together, around one major point. It's companies that are looking to more efficiently track project documents and correspondence. Now, what makes this product, I guess, different than what's out there in the marketplace? I mentioned it's web-based. Sure, there's some other web-based products that are out there. Really, what separates this product is its ability to integrate directly with Foundation. So this will pull information, it'll push or sync information back into Foundation. And the big picture idea behind this is it allows your project managers, your operations team, the ability to do what they need to do day to day without having to log into Foundation or without having to call the accounting department and request information. So there's going to be efficiencies. There's actually going to be cost savings because of that as well. From lack of downtime they don't have to worry about, to everybody just communicating better. Imagine if you could just have one or two more change orders that are more effectively processed that you might otherwise miss out on because you're all talking together and sharing information seamlessly. So that's kind of the big idea with what this product's all about. I guess a little bit more specifically, there's 3 parts to this. The main part is called ProjectHQ. That is more the document management correspondence tracking part of the system. There's also a scheduling part called CrewHQ, and then there's also a reporting part, more specifically a job cost reporting part called Executive HQ. So those are the different parts and pieces to this. Now, this screen that I'm currently on, more of an overview screen. So when you log into the platform, and as far as devices, I'm on a computer, but tablets are probably the go-to for most companies. Smartphones will work too. So I guess just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as well. You're not beholden to a computer with this, and it's not Foundation. It's not any part of Foundation. It's all web-based. Nothing wrong with Foundation, but at the end of the day, it's an accounting system, so it's not going to be as user-friendly as a program like this. But this page here would be more of an overview, and based on how your security is set up can determine what this screen would look like. For example, do you have access to document management, job cost reporting, and scheduling, or is it just one of the 3, 2 of the 3? You can also limit down to the project level. And then you can also limit by type of document. Maybe not all employees can, handle change order tracking, or you don't want them to be able to handle change order tracking. So you can always hide that part of it, or you can always, give them access to purchase orders, but not RFIs, things like that. But yeah, more of an overview page here where you're going to be able to see most recent jobs, documents, different tasks on your project schedules, action items, which is a nice way to keep track of internal assignments and tie notifications, and then weather conditions based on your current location. So yeah, more of a starting page, and I can jump into any of these areas, drill into it, but I guess for the sake of our discussion here today, I'll kind of stick to the main menu and kind of show you how the navigation features here work. Now, speaking of that, if you look to the left-hand side, here's the main toolbar. So this would be ProjectHQ. Schedule, that would be the Crew HQ, the scheduling part of it. Contacts, just a different or a list of all the different people you're dealing with on the jobs. Reports, so that's where you can always go and run different lists and logs for your different projects. And then lastly, down here is where you get into setup, which is where you would be able to create and manage users and their permissions. Probably most importantly, this is where you can design all of your different custom templates. And being newer technology than Foundation, if you want to pull in a Word or a PDF document and then merge in where those fields need to go, that's all normal types of scenarios that companies will go through. The other big thing to touch base on here with integrations, just to show you, so all these records are going to pull into HQ from Foundation. So jobs along with their budgets, customers, employees, and vendors, equipment items, inventory items, and then lastly here at the bottom would be cost codes and cost classes. All of these records are going to pull into HQ after they're set up in Foundation. So again, it's not like it's two separate systems. They're all communicating with each other here. Now the main part of the system, if I back up here, is ProjectHQ, so document management. So all of these jobs, again, pulling in from Foundation, and when you select a project, it's going to then give you more of an overview for just that job. And right from the main screen here, you can see there's daily logs you can get into, an overview of the schedule. You can keep track of your most recent emails. This all ties into your email. So email integration is part of this as well. So these would be my most recent emails, and then documents, whether I want to look at overdue, upcoming, recent ones. If I had any action items, I don't, but I can always take a look at my team. What do they have out there? And then weather conditions based on this job's address, this job's location. Now, the left-hand side of the toolbar, if I expand all of these here, kind of gives you an idea what types of documents you can create, types of forms you can create in here. Now, this is where, from a security standpoint, if you ever wanted to limit who has access to certain features on that toolbar, you can always go ahead and do that too. But just kind of going down through everything here, and you can always star these too to kind of jump them up to favorites if you'd like. But project details, kind of the basic information when a job is set up, that's what you'll find here. Resources, I'll come back around to schedule because that'll be the Crew HQ part of the system. But team, this would be basically a list of all the different people that you're working with on the project. This pulls from a larger global list, usually pulling from your list of employees, vendors, and customers out of Foundation. Of course, you can always add new contacts here. You can see right up in the corner. You can always assign different project roles, or you can add new roles on the fly. So that's kind of a normal thing here in HQ. Keyword searches are all found throughout here as well. So just a couple common features that you'll see through all the different screens, all the different windows here. But yeah, team is just a list of all the different people you're dealing with on the project. Now, work management, this is where you start getting into creating different types of forms, documents, statements, if you will. First one is a list of action items. And again, you can always assign these to certain people, tie them to priorities, due dates, even categories. These you can set different notifications to. You can also duplicate these. Most all the documents here in HQ you can duplicate, so makes it helpful. Most all of our companies, they have certain types of construction jobs that they do, and probably have the same types of tasks and activities and documents on each. So definitely can help streamline that process. AIA worksheets is another document. Now, this is one of the big ones that will be able to be created here and can push back into Foundation. So for a lot of our companies, just makes sense because it's usually the project management team that's handling these, and then instead of them having to create it on an Excel spreadsheet, hand it to accounting to manually key into Foundation, it's all covered in one big step where they can create the schedule of values out here, they can create the applications, and then whenever it's ready, because I know these go back and forth with the owner multiple times, these can be synced into Foundation, pushed into Foundation, and these, along with a few other records that I'll show you here in a moment that push back into Foundation, none of them are just going to automatically post or update. They require somebody on the accounting side to basically be the gatekeeper who can review and okay these types of documents. But yeah, AIAs are ones that can push into Foundation and populate the accounting system. Mentioned daily logs. This was back on the home screen, so if you needed a way to create a daily log, this is where you can input information. Now, labor equipment, that will actually pull out of Foundation if you're using a mobile product to collect time. There's ways that can sync and make that process more transparent, be able to see that information easier. For documents, there's RFIs and submittals, and then there's another section here called user-defined documents, which can be really anything you want. These are just ones that I've created over the years talking with companies. The documents, I guess this specific section I always kind of refer to as like a non-accounting document area because they don't push back into Foundation. But there's going to be similarities with these along with some of these other ones down here as well, where take this RFI, for example. If I hop into here, this screen here is going to be very, very similar throughout the system. I can always jump to a different type of document. I can toggle by status right there. There's a keyword search. I can run a list or a log up here, but all of your documents, if I open one up here, they're all going to have at least these 4 sections: details, correspondence, attachments, and email. Details is kind of like the main body of the document. You can always control what shows or doesn't show, or what somebody might be required to fill out based on all those template designers. Correspondence would be a way to manually make a note based on different phone calls or other conversations or other options too. Attachments, this is where you can store pictures, drawings, plans, what blueprints, whatever you need, and they can be Word, PDF, JPEG, so it can be any type of file, Excel, unlimited storage. It's all part of our cloud storage here. And there's a feature for annotation. So not only can you store the documents, but there's a markup feature. So when I come into here, this has a layering feature, so you can keep track of original, option B, C, D, who made those changes, when did it occur. But yeah, there's PDF editing where you can add shapes, images, text. There's markups, erasers, like a stamp here. I'll kind of mark it as approved. You can create your own custom stamps. You can password protect this. You can create, a signature if you needed to have that appear somewhere. So yeah, unlimited document storage, but then there's also a annotation and markup feature. It keeps the layering intact, so you can keep track of where everything is at. But yeah, all of your documents you can store documents to, or all attached documents to. And then for mailbox, this is where you'll find all of the emails, whether you've sent them or saved them, received them. You can always send emails out of here as well. But yeah, that's going to be consistent really throughout all of your documents here. So yeah, these would be your standard documents, user-defined documents. And then you also have an area to create punch lists. So just being able to create that checklist and who's assigned to it, manage that on through. And then underneath that, cost management starts with the budget. Now, the original budget would be set up in Foundation and pull into here. But anytime you need to adjust the budget, change orders, internal change orders, that's what you can do through HQ here. Like for change order management, if it's an owner-related change order, you can start with a request for change that can then be converted over to an actual change order. And it's all the same coding. So, this is a similar type of document in regards to integration to Foundation, like that AIA we were looking at, where you can create these documents, do all the detail. Like if I go to scope of work, I can break out, how does this affect my budget? But you can email this out, have your own custom templates, and then hopefully when you hear back it gets marked as approved, you can convert that request for change into an actual change order that would then push into Foundation. And again, there's always a gatekeeper on the accounting side that would have to review and okay it before that would save into, officially save into Foundation and show up on reports. There's also the ability to create internal or estimate change orders. Basically, if you need to modify the budget, but it was more of an internal issue, not really dealing with the owner or customer. If you just needed to pull dollars from one code to the next, or if you've got, a lot of times companies will have a profit or a contingency or a variance cost code line item that they're tracking things on. So, there's that ability to do that through here as well. And then the other type of document is actually a couple different documents here in committed costs. This is where you'd be able to create and manage your purchase orders and subcontracts. And if you do have your inventory module back in Foundation, that all pulls in detail items into here. But again, you're coding things out to different cost codes and cost classes. These can push into Foundation. Again, somebody always has to double check them on that side. So whether it's a purchase order, a subcontract, a change order to either of those agreements, you can see there's little, nice colorful charts and graphs down below showing you statuses and values and things like that. But these are a couple other types of documents you can create and manage and track over here on the HQ side. Now, the other item within ProjectHQ is this section called Collaboration. This is where you can just find all of the files or attachments, drawings, pictures in one location here. So it's here. This is where you can always share it, download. You can also do any annotations if you need to. Open that up. But yeah, being able to see everything here. You can also create a folder, create subfolders. So if you wanted to have a unique way to organize your documents, you can always do that through here as well. And then underneath that mailbox, this is where you'll see all of the emails that have been sent or saved on this project. So I guess for both of these, the files in the mailbox, kind of like a digital filing cabinet, kind of keeping you up to date if you're ever looking to maybe do some research into, where was this attachment? How about this email? Have we heard anything back on this or anything like that? So that would be ProjectHQ, kind of the main part of the platform. Now, moving outside of this into CrewHQ, this would be the scheduling tool. So kind of the key parts of this is it's a scheduling, a product to help you schedule jobs, allocate resources, and then the big one is it will actually push out an email or a text notification to your employees to let them know what they're doing, where they're going, that kind of thing. So this will pull up a list of all of your jobs. And then the idea is you can create a task and assign different resources and dates and times even. And then that'll push out to the employee. If I guess just kind of give you an idea, like if I go ahead and double click on this area, here's where I can just enter in the task name. I can, yes, always color code this, attach an icon. I guess I'll make it red. Dates. If I want to put in times, I can, or in the bottom half, I want to put in who was it created by or scheduled by, percent complete. You can create your own categories or tags. And then for the location, that'll pull in default by the project, but if I ever wanted to override that, I can always do that, or drop a pin in a map. I know that's helpful, because a lot of times you're building the address. It hasn't been established yet. Resources, so this is where you can assign out employees, and it lets you know. You can see Donald and Joe are already scheduled to a different job, so I could leave them there, or I'm just going to say, nope, they're already busy. Or maybe you want to schedule other contacts, maybe you want to schedule by crew, equipment, material. These all pull from Foundation. So same thing with equipment. If it's already booked, you can leave it there, I guess, if it can be in two places on the same day, or you can always take that off there. So that's where you can schedule out resources. You can also get into predecessors and successors to create that critical path. Custom informational fields, the budget. So if the job is budgeted, this is kind of a neat little feature because this all integrates with Foundation. If the job is budgeted, you can have the system automatically pull the cost codes and make those the tasks. I know a lot of companies it's a one-to-one relationship that way. And then lastly, notes, just miscellaneous notes, that will actually get sent out on the email or text notification to your employees as well. And then your employees, on top of getting those notifications, they will also have a link that they can click to show a calendar view. So I know a lot of companies and their employees rely on that more than the email and text notifications. And this is all interactive here on the screen. Like, I can move these things around. I can, make this longer, shorter, that type of thing. So it's an interactive board. And you can look at this differently. Like, the default's always by project, but if I want to look at this by employee or by equipment, all resources, there's some different options there. And then on the other side, I could just kind of going down through some of these bells and whistles here. There's a filter, a map view, so that's kind of neat if you want to see on a map different locations in case you need to pull resources from one area. Different time frames, like mine's set to month, but if I wanted to look at it by week or quarter, a custom date range, I can always do that too. So that's ProjectHQ. And then the last piece of our HQ suite is called ProjectHQ. This is job cost reporting. It's the same data that you'd find over on your foundation side, just all web-based and accessible on tablets and smartphones and on the go. And it's, I guess, the same kind of concept where your employees can more easily go out and grab this information instead of logging into Foundation or bugging somebody in the accounting team to email a report, a PDF report that comes from Foundation. But the idea is it shows grand totals up top, and then on the bottom half of the screen, you can always limit what projects they see here too. But the bottom half of the screen would be more of a percent complete, over under type report. And if you see on this header here, I can always sort and filter by any of these columns. But from here, if I wanted to see more information, I can select a particular job, and then it pulls up a nice dashboard. That's kind of the idea. You kind of start with big picture information, and then it allows you to drill into more and more detail here on the Executive HQ side. Like, even down if I want to drill into see billings, or I want to see in costs, or a job, a history detail report. Like, if I want to see, well, wait a second, site preparation's already in the negatives there. It's already 1,000 in the hole. If I want to drill into that, it'll open up and show all the different transactions that went against that line item, went against that cost code. So that's the idea here with Executive HQ. You can just have that information at your fingertips to, I guess, make better, more timely decisions that might impact the future performance of that job. So that's Executive HQ. Crew HQ would be the scheduling part of it. And then we've got ProjectHQ would be more the document management. And it is something, the HQ suite, it's a platform that we offer, the entire all three products. But if you don't need all three, you want to start with just one or two, that's always doable as well. And as far as a time frame, if you do get into the entire platform, probably give yourself about 4 to 5 weeks, from a setup and testing and designing all of your custom forms and templates and those types of things. And if you are interested in pricing, feel free to reach out. My email address is dke@foundationsoft.com. Phone numbers 1-800-246-0800. My extension is 7181. Anybody that's even signed up or registered for the webinar, they're going to receive a copy of this recorded webinar too, in case you want to watch it again or share it with somebody there in your office. But yeah, if you need anything, feel free to reach out. Price-wise, it is user-based pricing, so we don't get into revenue-based pricing. It's something that we've never done as a company. So I know some other companies base it off of revenue and job billings and things like that. Ours is always user-based, with packages starting at 5 users and going up from there. But yeah, I'll kind of turn it over to you guys. If you have any questions, there's an area to type that in on the GoToWebinar sidebar. I'm going to pull this up, just the Converge 2024 that's going to be down in Nashville at the end of April. And again, if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out. We can kind of go over some of the specifics on that too. So I'll pause for a moment and wait and see if you guys have some questions, and we'll take it from there. And then a question here, how many emails can be contributed to the email section on the project? It's unlimited, so it's basically whatever contacts you have working on that job, their emails would be saved there. Basically, if they have access to that project and they have access to certain types of documents, they can email out, they can save emails, and all of them would be saved and stored within that. And then a question, how would we use WorkMax and ProjectHQ for scheduling? It seems they both do similar tasks, and this is something that's come up over the last handful of months here, and they're both good products, but they're both different. So WorkMax is a mobile time card app. That's where you're going to collect time. It really has there's no scheduling features in WorkMax. Yeah, now HQ, just talking here today, this is where you would get into your scheduling. So I guess under the foundation umbrella, this Crew HQ would really be the main scheduling tool that you would have, from one of our products. Yeah, WorkMax is time cards. Crew HQ would handle scheduling. And then a question, is there an estimating software that will work with ProjectHQ? So ProjectHQ integrates with Foundation. So we couples, and actually I pull this back up here. McCormick Estimating is a Foundation product. They specialize in electrical and plumbing contractors. The Estimating Edge get into things like roofing, drywall, other square feet type of measurements. They're an estimating tool of Foundation. Now, if neither of those are a fit, best of breed. Look for a best product. Almost any type of estimating platform nowadays can import into Foundation, but then I guess the data, once it's in Foundation, will pull into HQ. So that's how I would look at it from an estimating standpoint. And then a question, what does this mean for the project management module in Foundation? It is going to be phased out. We don't have any definitive timeline as far, I don't know if I don't think it'll ever be completely closed off and canceled, but it is something that we're really not, from a sales perspective, offering to customers, just because HQ is has many more features, more capability, and a lot of times it's cheaper in the bigger picture for companies, especially when you factor in, like, take a typical company that might have 5 users on Foundation on the project management module. I can tell you that the HQ suite would be a better option financially than that. And then a question, the gatekeeper for accounting, is that supposed to be in-house? Yeah, that would be whoever's in Foundation, whoever's running the books on that side. That's kind of that person I would refer to as the gatekeeper. And then a question, Crew HQ and Executive HQ are their own separate products. They're separate, but the HQ suite is one big platform. That's probably the best way to put it. It's one big platform, but there's 3 different products within that. Most companies will add all 3, but yeah, if you did just want to add 2 or even just 1, completely up to you. And then question, does ProjectHQ interface with Outlook? Yeah, so the email integration, Outlook would integrate with HQ. So when you send an email through HQ, it would connect to your Outlook email. It would come from your Outlook email address, save a copy in Outlook, but it would also save a copy on the HQ side. And question, can you upload PDFs? Yeah, PDFs, JPEGs, Word documents, Excel, really any type of file you can upload into here. And then a question about keeping track of square feet measurement on a specific day. That would be more along the lines of what a mobile app like a WorkMax would do. So yeah, when you get into like entering time card, collecting quantities, things like that. That's that would be handled by a mobile app, not our HQ suite. And then a question, is the AIA the only format for sending out an invoice to a customer? You can actually create your own custom templates. So the input would be AIA, but even if it's just a single line item and you want to create your own custom template, you can always do that too. And then for ProjectHQ, a question about, can you look at it by the week? Yeah, you can. I had mine set to month, but if you'd rather look at it by the week, 3 days, 1 day, custom, where you can put any date range in there, you can always do that. And then question on job numbers and how they show up via Foundation and HQ. So it's a 1-to-1. So if you have job 1,000, I don't know, Strongsville Mall job in Foundation, that'll be job 1,000 Strongsville Mall job in HQ. So they can't be different. They're tied. They're basically tied at the hip. And no integration with Microsoft Project. So ProjectHQ would be what you'd be using for scheduling if you had that. Now, if you didn't want to add ProjectHQ and you wanted to keep Microsoft Projects, you can always do that. We do have some companies that'll do that as well. And then a question, can subcontractors be given access? Not really. So this isn't really designed to be something that you would typically give access to outside people. It's designed to work with just your company and their users. Now, you can always tailor security at the job level. You can tailor security at the document type level, but that's where you probably run into issues. So like if you gave somebody a subcontract access to the subcontractor section for a project, they're going to see all the subcontracts there. So that's where it's really just tailored to work with just your company. Not, you wouldn't be able to have outside contacts log in and use this. All right. I know we're going to be sending out information. There'll probably be somebody maybe to reach out and kind of touch base with you, just kind of gauge your interest over the next couple of weeks. But if you have any other questions, or if this is something that you think might be a fit for your company, please feel free to reach out. My email address, and if you do want to email me directly, that's perfectly fine. It's dke@foundationsoft.com. And my phone number is 1-800-246-0800, and my extension is 7181. All right, thanks, guys.